All right, let's get right into it. We're about to pull back the curtain on something huge, one of the biggest illusions in our financial lives, and that's the number on our paycheck. In this explainer, we're going to figure out the true value of your time. And I'm telling you, once you see this, you are never going to look at a price tag the same way again. So let me ask you straight up. Do you really know what you make per hour? I'm not talking about the number your boss told you when you got hired. I mean the real, actual, after everything is said and done number. Most of us have no idea. And the gap between what we think we earn and what we actually pocket is, well, it's kind of staggering. I mean, just look at this. On paper, $31 an hour. That sounds pretty decent, right? You can work with that. But as we're about to find out, when you factor in all the hidden costs of just having that job, the real wage can absolutely plummet to less than 11 bucks an hour. So how is that even possible? Well, that's the little accounting fraud we've been running on ourselves, and we're going to break it all down. So let's start with this feeling. I call it the $30 hour illusion. You know the one I'm talking about. It's that frustrating feeling of getting a good paycheck. You feel paycheck rich for maybe a day, and then you turn around and wonder, where did it all go? It feels like all your hard work just evaporates.
Picture this, because I'm sure you've been here. It's Friday evening, your brain is completely fried after a long, hard week. The last thing on earth you want to do is cook. So what do? You grab your phone, you order a $45 pizza, and you just collapse on the couch. Sound familiar? Yeah. That one little decision, it's a perfect symptom of a much bigger issue.
And in that moment, this is the story we tell ourselves, right? I earned this. I deserve it. It feels like a reward for all that effort. But what if that reward is actually part of the cost? What if the job itself is creating the very exhaustion that makes that $45 pizza feel like a necessity? And that brings us to the real heart of this whole thing. We are about to perform let's call it a brutal forensic audit on your job. See, in any business, revenue is pretty much meaningless until you understand your expenses. It's about time we applied that same ruthless logic to our own lives. Okay, so let's start with our revenue. Let's imagine a worker. We'll call him James. His stated salary is $65,000 a year. That comes out to about 31 bucks an hour. This is the nice big number on the offer letter. It's the one we're proud of. But really, it's just the starting line. Now, let's start subtracting the cost of doing business. First, the obvious stuff, taxes. They take a huge bite right off the top. But then come the sneakiest costs. Your commute. That's not just gas money, right? It's insurance, wear and tear on your car, the stress of sitting in traffic. Then there are the work clothes you'd never dream of wearing on a Saturday. And what about the convenience tax? All those sad desk lunches and coffees you buy simply because you're too worn out to pack your own. And finally, maybe the most insidious cost of all, the decompression. The happy hours, the impulse buys on Amazon, all the things you buy just to numb the stress from the job itself. So when you actually add all of that up, that $65,000 salary starts to look a whole lot smaller. James's net real income, the money he actually has left to, live his life, might be closer to 35 grand. We've already lost almost half of his income, and we haven't even talked about our most valuable resource yet. That's right, because a wage isn't just about money, is it? It's money divided by time. And just like we overestimate our real income, we drastically underestimate the amount of time we actually give to our jobs. Your job description might say 40 hours a week, but that's rarely the full story. We have to account for all this shadow work. Think about it. The time it takes you to get ready in the morning, the commute itself, that hour-long lunch break where you're off the clock, but you're not exactly free, are you? And what about the time you spend after work just winding down, venting, or, and this is a big one, checking emails from the couch? All of this is time your job demands, but it doesn't pay you a single cent for it. And this is where the lie gets really obvious. That official 40-hour work week, it's a fantasy. It easily balloons to 55, maybe even 60 hours of your life that are truly dedicated to your job. You are giving away 15 to 20 hours of your precious life for free every single week. Okay, so let's put it all together. Let's do the real math. It's a simple calculation, but I promise you, it is going to fundamentally change how you see money and work forever. Here's the formula for the truth. It's your net real income, that much smaller number after we subtract all the job-related costs, and you divide it by the total true hours you dedicate to that job, including all that shadow work. This is it. This is the real number. So what happens when we plug in the numbers for James? You take that 35,000 in real income and you divide it by nearly 3,000 true hours a year. And that $31 an hour, it just evaporates. All of a sudden, James is making less than $11 an hour. I mean, depending on where you live, that could be less than the teenager flipping burgers down the street is making. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Great, so I'm broke and my job sucks. But listen, the reason we do this math isn't to make you feel depressed. It's designed to make you efficient. It's a tool. This knowledge is pure empowerment. Because this new number gives you a completely new way to see money. Once you know your real hourly wage, your entire relationship with buying stuff it changes. You stop seeing prices in dollars and you start seeing them in what they truly cost you, your life energy. And this is the key insight. You walk into a store, you see a pair of shoes for $100. Okay, but if your real hourly wage is, say, $10 an hour, your brain needs to do a quick translation. Those shoes don't cost $100. They cost 10 hours of your life. 10 hours of commuting, of sitting in meetings, of dealing with stress. Are they worth it? All of a sudden, that question gets a lot harder to say yes to. This simple mental trick is the perfect antidote to just mindless consumerism. It's also how you start to escape the trap of the golden handcuffs, chasing promotions that offer more money but come with way higher costs in time and stress, which can actually lower your real hourly wage.
So, what do we do? What's the solution? Well, it's not about quitting your job tomorrow. The solution is to start building your freedom by optimizing for your margin, not just for a higher salary. Here are 4 practical things you can start doing right now. First, can you negotiate for remote work, even just a couple days a week? That's an instant, massive raise in both time and money. Second, can you meal prep on Sunday to avoid buying those expensive lunches? You have to start treating your labor like a business and focus on cutting your cost of goods sold. And my favorite tip, write down your real wage on a sticky note and put it right on your credit card. That little bit of friction will save you thousands. I want you to think about it this way. Your life is your business. And a smart business owner doesn't just chase more revenue. They obsess over their profit margin. The gap between your real income and your total expenses in both time and money, that's your life's profit margin. And that margin, that is where your freedom lives. This chart shows it perfectly. Someone with a high income but equally high work-related costs is running a business with a terrible margin. They don't have any freedom. But someone with a more modest income who has been ruthless about cutting their work-related costs, they have a high margin. They're running a profitable, healthy business. They are winning the game. So I'll leave you with this thought. The system kind of relies on you being too tired and too busy to do this math. Don't let it win. Run the numbers, find your real hourly wage, and start making decisions based on the true value of your time. Because the ultimate question this all leads back to is, what is 1 hour of your freedom really worth to you?